We are doing a question and answering live stream today and also a Tackle Tuesday. We used to do Tackle Tuesday videos about 2 years ago, and we were just doing a video talking about a cast net or lures. So today we're doing like probably an hour to 30-minute video of tackle. And I love tackle. Tackle is what a fisherman dreams of getting more of. Fishing tackle, all types of different tackle. So I'm just kind of going to go over some of the tackle that I own, and this is not all of it, believe me. It's just like a 0.8 percentage of what my total tackle is, but this is typically what I bring on me on a daily basis for hard plastics. Kind of more, it's more question answering and than actually showing, tackle, but it's probably 50-50, honestly. Just because I want to hear from you guys as well, but I also want to show you guys the tackle. So, before we get into it, what is up? I'm River Out Life. Nice to see you guys, if you guys are already joining. So yeah, I'm River Out Life. This is my studio. We're getting a little bit more organized here. We got the Les Paul over here. We got, quite a few different stuff in this room for YouTube. We got our tripods, we got our GoPros, we got this, that, and the other in here. But we got the River Out sign too, which River Out Life, that is our wonderful sign that we got from an eBay seller. Or not eBay seller, Etsy. It was actually really cool the way that they did it. Yeah, so that's how we're gonna do it today. So I'm gonna start off with some of these hooks. Or no, I'm gonna start off with a hard plastic lure. So we're gonna start off with this right here, which is probably the most classic bait in the history of fishing. If I can get it untangled. Come on. If you have been living under a rock for years, then you may have never heard of a rooster tail. Let me unhook this thing. Sorry about that, guys. Let me unhook it. Boom. Perfect. But if you guys have been living under a rock for years, this is a rooster tail. And rooster tails are trout fishing magnets, basically. So what is up? Nice to see you in the chat, dude. But yeah, these are trout fishing magnets, basically. So you can use these for trout, bluegill, bass, a bunch of different things. I personally don't use them as often because I fish in Florida and we don't have trout in Florida. Or we have trout, but we have speckled trout in Florida. We don't have rainbow trout, so this is this. Welcome to the stream, everybody. This is a River Out studio, as you can tell, because we have a huge logo with River Out Life in the back of it, and guitars everywhere. Yeah, so we're gonna get to some other stuff. Let me know if you guys want to see soft plastics or hard plastics. I got quite a few stuff because this is a Tackle Tuesday. I'm gonna grab this one while we're waiting. This is a soft plastic lure. So this is a minnow. Yeah, you're in Wyoming, all sorts of trout. Yeah, we only have speckled trout and sand trout here in Florida. We don't have rainbow, brook, that type of stuff. Yeah, this is a mullet. This is a soft plastic lure. And I typically use these for trout and sometimes redfish, depending on if they'll hit it. Ladyfish like them too, as well as bluefish. So soft plastic lures are really good for pretty much all of your fishing types. I can't think of any type of fishing that you cannot catch anything on a soft plastic lure. Like, you literally can catch a fish on every type of fishing. You can use soft plastics of some kind and you will catch a fish. So we're gonna go to one of the most classic baits out there. You probably have heard of this at least once if you fish for 5-10 years, you've probably heard of it. Let me untangle it. Boom. So this is a spoon. So this is just a little metal spoon. So it's a piece of metal with a hook on the end of it, which is covered up by some sort of red plastic. Typically, that's what your spoons will look like. Typically. Our biggest trout was like 20 pounds. Yeah, you guys got some big trout up there. We got like steelhead trout in Wyoming and stuff. I'm not 100% sure. I've never been to Wyoming. But yeah, this is spoons. If you guys know what a spoon is. Like I said, these metal things with hooks on the bottom of them. These are treble hooks, so these will hook you, and they hurt when they hook you. They actually, it's bad. So yeah, I don't like getting hooked by them. Sometimes I use treble hooks, not often though, by themselves. The only time I really try is for tarpon or some sort of bigger game fish that likes to get off the hook often. Then I'll use treble hooks, but besides that, I'm not really the biggest fan of treble hooks. So this right here is a sort of Rapala bait. So this goes in the water, and it shakes like this. It has a ball in the head, as you guys can see. It's a little bit reflective, so you guys can see it. But yeah, it shakes, and this makes a sound in the water, and it goes like this in the water, like back and forth like that. Like kind of like a swimming up and down motion like that. So these I typically use for, different types of trout. Rainbow trout, brown lakers, and cutthroat trout. Cutthroat trout, I want to catch one. They look so pretty looking. But yeah, we have these lures right here, which, like I said, these are some hard plastic lures right here. And let me know if you guys have any questions, because this is Tackle Tuesday and a question answering, so please put your questions in the chat if you have any. Yeah, there it is right there. Yeah, they are beautiful. Cutthroat trout are beautiful. So we're going to go into one of my favorite baits, which, let me get to it. Here. Go here. I love poppers. So, I use poppers a lot. I don't really catch a lot of fish on poppers, to be honest with you. If I can unhook this one there. So, I don't use poppers often, but this is what a popper is. So, a popper, the reason it's called a popper is it goes on top of water like this. Like that. So, basically, what happens is the water gets cut on the lip, or caught on the lip right there, and it makes a splash in the water, boom, 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 and it hits the treble hooks on the bottom, which always stay on the bottom. They may move side to side, but you're still going to stay on the bottom. This is the reason that topwater fishing is so popular, because you get to see the fish blow up on the bait. So, you use a gold red dot jake. Yeah, I've heard of those. We don't really have that type of gear down here in Florida, because we catch like tarpon and stuff down here. It's not really like, we're not the biggest territory for like that type of fishing, like trout and stuff. It's also just not my expertise. So we may have them down here, I just don't know. Another topwater lure, if you are interested in topwater lures, is this one right here, which is a topwater frog. So topwater frogs go on the top of the water like normal frogs, so boom, boop, boop. So what I get a lot is, there's no hooks on this. Where's the hooks? Like, I don't see a hook. Hello, Ben. Nice to see you in the chat, bro. But yeah, the reason that soft plastic frogs, topwater frogs, depending on who you ask, they have hooks right here. So you can see the hooks right there. So the bass bites down on the back of it like this, gets stuck, and then when you pull it, it hooks at it. That's kind of how these things work. Like I said, what is up, Ben? Nice to see you in the chat, dude. But it's actually really cool fishing with topwater frogs, because you can actually go into lily pads and stuff without getting stuck most of the time, because you get to, this is a Lunkerhut one, I believe. Yeah, this is a Lunkerhut frog. So has the ability to not sink, because sometimes if you break it, it will sink. This one's a little bit torn. I've caught quite a few bass on this, so it is a little bit on the, iffy side, unfortunately. But we're going to get to this one right here, which this is this actually a Daiwa bait? This is a Daiwa bait, I didn't even realize. Have I used a topwater duck? No, I have not used a topwater duck before. I've seen videos when I was kind of messing around with the idea of doing a video about fishing with weird lures, like topwater ducks, topwater spiders, topwater, like, mice and stuff, but I was toying around with the idea of the video, because it's the perfect time right now in summer, right before spawn, they're hitting. But yeah, so this is a Rapala. So this is ancient bait, basically. This one got the bat got torn on a rock, so it says this. So this is just kind of in my room as a showpiece, basically. You can see all the rock indentations and how beat up this thing was. But yeah, it's actually pretty cool looking bait. I like it. when it's actually in good condition, when it's not been torn up by bluefish and stuff, it actually works really well. So it's a nice bait. So I'm gonna take this time for the chat. So give me questions, please. So give me your fishing questions if it's with my PB basses, PB trout, PB just fish generally, shark, that type of stuff. Put it in the chat, please and thank you. Hey, what is up, dude? Nice to see you in the chat. Jack of all trades. That is a legend right there. So thank you, dude, for 100 gifts. Appreciate it, dude. Awesome. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys decide what you guys want to see. You guys want to see hooks, or do you guys just want me to answer a question? Like I said, I'm willing because this is a question of answering. I can do pretty much any fishing knowledge. I have extensive fishing knowledge, so just kind of shoot me a question. Even about hunting and camping, I have some knowledge in those areas as well. So kind of just put it in the chat. Have I caught a 10-pound bass? I have not. The elusive 10-pound bass have still haunt me. I have caught 8.5-pound bass. I've caught some pretty big bass, but never 10-pound. If we're talking largemouth bass, never, but peacock bass, which is technically a cichlid, I have caught 10-pound ones. I've caught 12-pound. It's the biggest one I've caught. It was a big peacock bass. It was huge. It was probably like this long, like, yeah, this long, and like this fat. Like, it was a big peacock bass. Which, like I said, again, it is technically not a bass. It's a type of cichlid, but it's called peacock bass. So, therefore, I'm going to classify it in the bass family. So, while I have a question, I'm going to... My poor guitar is so dusty, I need to clean it. So, we're going to talk about weights. So, application for weights is a little bit different. So, these are pyramid weights. These are what I use for surf fishing. This is a 2-ounce pyramid weight, which is pretty hefty. Like I said, it's exactly 2 ounces pretty much. So, what you do is you clip them on the bottom of a rig that looks similar to this. So, you have a clip here, and you clip it right here. Boom. So now it's clipped onto the weight in the leader. Boom. And now if you just want to undo it, you can. Boom. So now it's unclipped. That's how you put on pyramid weights. And pyramid weights are one of those things that it's a little bit weird to put on. It also is just dependent on, let's say you're fishing, and you're fishing in really rough condition. I always put a pyramid weight on, or some sort of heavy bottom rig. But other people would say, hey, don't do that. Focus more on top water, or focus on using a bobber, which we have bobbers, and that's actually where I was going is, why is it not, what's up there? River Life, you can see it now. But yeah, we're going to bobbers next. These are live bottom bobbers. So these are slide bobbers. What slide bobbers do is they go slide. So this goes on top of the water, and you can just see it, and it floats like this. So this, most of the time, you do not use if you want to use a bobber to see if it goes down. This is a float on top of the water, so you can tell the water column. You can have like a block or something at the bottom, so you know. How big was my biggest bluegill? I think it was like 1.5 pounds. Like, it was a big bluegill. Like, I'm pretty sure it was 1.5 pounds because I caught it out at, I think it was Disney, actually. It was huge. It was, like, probably the biggest bluegill I've seen on YouTube besides, like, Kendall Gray catching those big bluegill and, like, Angler Up with Brant. But it was like one of the biggest bluegill I've ever seen. I caught it at Disney. I caught it on a giant shiner at Disney. And I'm like, what happened? It was giant. We caught it on a bass charter at Disney. It was one of the Go Fish charters. We went out of Port Orleans, Disney. It's actually a really nice bass fishing experience, and it was an awesome guide. It was a really fun time. Well, yeah. I'm going to put this back and give me your fishing question down in the chat. So let me know if you have a question for me about fishing, and I will answer it while I try to decide what I'm going to talk about next for this. I think I'm going to talk about this. Like I said, if you guys are just joining, I'm River Rat Life, as you can probably tell by the giant sign in the back saying river rat life. Yeah, basically, what I do is I talk about fishing and I go fishing. I do live streams, videos, that type of stuff, and that's kind of what I do. So this is what we're going to talk about next. So these are, thank you for dropping a sub. I appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it. But this right here is a pompano jig. So pompano jigs you can use on the bottom. You can tip them with shrimp or something. Sometimes pompano just hit them like this. So pompano jigs are what we use in Florida to catch pompano most of the time. So you have some sort of buck tail on the bottom of it. And the buck tail mimics something in the water like a fly or something. Or I forget the exact imitation. I think it's sand flea. And it goes like this in the water, depending on how you work it. And that's what entices fish to hit. And what fish that I personally like to target with these is mangrove snapper. I think mangrove snapper, you just tip it with shrimp, and the mangrove snapper even like the coloration. That's what I use when I'm fishing jetties, is this with a tipped shrimp to catch mangrove snapper. That is what I use personally. But, you know, I'm also not a pro at this whatsoever. So these are some of the hooks you'll see me use in my videos. So these are octopus hooks, which kind of 3/0 octopus hooks. It's kind of what I use. If you guys are curious what 3/0 size looks like, here it is, right here. So it's about the size of my thumb, pretty much. It's about the size of my nail. And the reason that I like using octopus hooks sometimes is octopus hooks have a barb, 2 barbs. They have a barb on the inside, and they have a barb on the outside, which makes it a little bit harder for the fish to come out of the hook. And you can see it has a pretty sharp point on it too. Most of the time we use circle hooks, generally speaking, which is a circle hook. It is classified as a circle hook. This is, if you guys are curious, this is a, I can't read that cursive, but it's an out-barb octopus circle hook, strong. It is some brand Game. It's Game Quasi. So Game Quasi circle hooks. It's actually pretty cool how many different hooks there are out there for so many different types of fishing. This right here is super important to have with me too. So we fish with a lot of toothy critters here in Florida. And I've been bit by bluefish. I've been bit by, or almost been bit by sharks. I've been bit by a lot of ocean fish. Whiting, bluefish, redfish. I've been bit by a lot. Bass. Bass are different because you have to hold the bass like this, so they will bite you pretty much every time. So it's a little bit different with bass, but you guys know what I mean. So I like to carry fish grabbers on me. So fish grabbers, you stick them right here, like that, and then you immediately grab it right above the lip or below the lip, just depend. I like to use it below the lip, right there. Boom, imagine this is the bottom of the fish's lip. Now, this is a pretty secure grip. This is Mossy Oak, which Mossy Oak is a great brand, so I trust this that it's not going to break. So, you keep it like this, and then when you want to release a fish, you just take that. Boom. So that's kind of how I use fishing grabbers, and they're important to have here in Florida because of all the toothy critters we have. I don't want to put my fingers in the mouth of a big bluefish. It will bite my finger off. Same thing with a shark or any other big toothy critter we have in Florida. Trout may not bite your finger off, but they will give you quite the injury because those fangs are deep. So you want to make sure you get this because those fish that we have here in Florida will bite you a lot. So what about pufferfish teeth? So it's a river rat abundance. So pufferfish teeth is a little bit different. So pufferfish teeth are a little bit like humans. They have the capability to bite your finger off. I'm not even joking. If you put your pinky finger in a pufferfish, because that's pretty much the only finger that would fit in pufferfish's mouth, and it will bite it off. So I don't use them for these because pufferfish mouths are very small. I like to pick them up by their tails, gently with pliers, and that's how I handle pufferfish. A lot of the times I also will just use some sort of needle plier or needle tip pliers, which are kind of just the pliers that have super thin tips on them, but they're super strong. That's how I typically get them out of the mouth, the hook out of the mouth of the pufferfish, so I don't get bit. But they do have the capability. They have snapped my hooks in half. They will bite your line off. I think pufferfish are probably one of those fish that they're trash fish but they just are so irritating that you kind of just are like, ugh, why do you have to be on my line? But yeah, while I'm deciding what other gear to use, if you guys want to hear a fishing story, put it in the comment, put a thumbs up in the comment if you guys want to hear fishing stories, which I have a couple. So, what fish steals the most lures? I'm going to go with Spanish mackerel. Spanish mackerel are mean, dude. They will hit your line, and they will take your lures. I lost probably close to $30 worth of NLBN lures in 2 hours fishing a jetty. And they are vicious creatures. I swear. Spanish mackerel will literally go up and bite your line just because they see your line on the water and it shimmers. Sometimes they won't hit your lures or only hit your line, which is irritating. I've probably lost close to $1,000 worth of lures in my life to Spanish mackerel bluefish. I'm not even being sarcastic. I probably have lost close to $1,000 worth of tackle. Are ladyfish easy or hard to catch? So, it depends on the way that you describe it. So, ladyfish catch-wise, I would say hooking ladyfish is not the problem. They're everywhere here in Florida, pretty much. Catching it and landing it is a different issue because they jump and they're called poor man's tarpon here in Florida. Poor man's tarpon, so they jump like a tarpon. They look like a tarpon kind of, but like an off-brand tarpon type of thing. So, yeah, it's just... But yeah, it is a little bit hard to manage catching ladyfish, in my personal opinion. So it just kind of depends on if you're saying catching them is in the sense of, landing them, or catching them in the sense of hooking them. It's a little bit different. Yeah, ladyfish is usually, unless you're Nathan. Yeah, that's true, that's for sure. He does not catch a ladyfish to save his life. I can't stay away from ladyfish when it's December. That's when the ladyfish kind of come out in Florida, December, November. And they are everywhere, and I cannot stop hooking ladyfish. Like, me and my grandpa went out to try to catch some redfish, and we caught close to 20 ladyfish in an hour. We caught so many. They don't have teeth on them, but they will hurt if you just let them thrash around, because they have, like, little, like bass, kind of. They have little gribs on the bottom of their teeth. So give me a thumbs up if you guys want a fishing story, which, give me a thumbs up in the chat. I'm trying to decide what to talk about next. You know what? I want to talk about this. So this right here is awesome. So this is a wonderful, 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 wonderful bucktail. So bucktails are awesome because bucktails, you can put stuff on them. This bucktail has a NLBN lure on the bottom of it, so you can see the thing flopping. This is an NLBN lure. And bucktails are good for Spanish mackerel sometimes. I prefer them for Jack Crevalle and casting long distances for tarpon. That's kind of what I prefer to use them for. Ow. That hurt. I was playing with a hook and I got hooked. Oh, we're good. That could have been bad. But yeah, so... Is it glitching? No. Well, these are also just bigger hooks. You can use these for a plethora of different things. You can use them for sharks. You can use them for bluefish. I personally use them for bigger bluefish because they get right in the corner of the mouth. And it is pretty good when you hook the bluefish in the corner of the mouth because they don't really bite them off. If you have them perfectly hooked in the corner, which is kind of what circle hooks try to do, is get that perfect hook set in the corner. So these are kind of the size that I use for the bigger bluefish we have. This is probably size 1, maybe size 2. Circle hooks. These are BKK circle hooks, I believe. Yeah, I believe they're either Mustad or BKK. But yeah, these are pretty good size circle hooks too. If you guys see it on the camera, it's pretty nice size. If you guys are just joining, welcome. Nice to see you guys in the chat. Make sure you let me know where you guys are watching from down in the chat too. I always like to hear where my viewers are watching from. So this is what we're going to talk about next. this is right here is a, what is it called? I cannot think of it. It's a leader. So leaders right here are really cool because leaders, you can have steel right here. Let's say you have 15-pound main line and your leader is 30 pounds. You can have a 30-pound leader and you still have the structural integrity and the casting of a 15-pound bottom, because if you have, let's say, a 4,000 size reel and you have 15-pound on it compared to 45-pound, and you have a 1 ounce weight for each, it's going to cast better with, what did I drop? Oh, I dropped the bucktail. You're going to catch quite a bit more, or cast quite a bit further with the 1 ounce with the 15-pound line. So you're not, you're casting really far, but you're not sacrificing the casting distance, but you're also getting the safety of getting some sort of bigger, you know, what is it called? Some sort of bigger, what's casting distance, bigger, what am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying, honestly. Some sort of different strength. Okay, there it is. The structural integrity of your lines can be better with one of these leaders, which leaders are awesome. This one is about, probably, let me see. This one's about 12 inches or so. About a foot. About a ruler right here. So, let's see. Let me know, do you guys want any questions real quick? So give me a question in the chat. I'm looking for something to talk about next here. I think I'm going to talk about this. But yeah, so this is a Rogue 10. This is a Smithwick lure. So Smithwick lures are pretty popular. Most of them have balls in them to make them shake in the water, so some sort of fish can hear them. So, you know, you can kind of see the ball rolling too. But yeah, that's kind of what the fishing lures we have here in Florida do. The bigger hard plastics, because you want that noise to it. Because this is more for Jack Crevalle and bigger fish. So, you know, it kind of depends. Like I said, this is for Jack Crevalle and bigger fish. For everybody that's joining, welcome. Nice to see you guys in the chat. Make sure you tell me where you guys are from in the chat and how long you guys have been watching the channel for. Hey, what's up, Travis? Nice to see you in the chat, bro. We're doing Tackle Tuesday today. Just kind of talking over some tackle. Just kind of doing some question and answering too. Fishing. So, let's see. I think I'm going to do bobbers next. This guy here. Nice, dude. So, we got here bobbers. So, bobbers, what they do is you attach them to your line. Everyone knows what a bobber is, but these ones are a little bit different. So, you attach them right here. So, take it. Boom. Hook it on the top. Then you hook it on the bottom. Boom. And now your bobber is floating. It will keep your bait suspended depending on how much weight you have in the bottom. But it will also let you know if something takes it down. I typically don't fish with bobbers unless I'm freshwater fishing, which I'm a saltwater fisherman, as you guys know. So freshwater fishing, I typically use bobbers. Bass fishing, most of the time, popping corks are what I typically use for catching peacock bass and clown knifefish. And popping corks, if you guys don't know what a popping cork is, I think I have one in here. I do. Okay, cool. Try not to knock down my guitar. Try not to do that. So this is what a popping cork is. So a popping cork is basically just a glorified bobber. So it has rattles in it. But you also have the hook in the bottom that is just attached to the popping cork. I don't see where the hook is for this specific popping cork, but I'm just going to keep it here. But yeah, that is the popping cork. Like I said, give me a thumbs up if you guys want to hear some fishing stories in the chat. Just some experiences that I've had while fishing and that type of stuff. And believe me, I have a lot. I've been fishing for 10 years or so. So I've had a lot of close calls with gators and stingrays and stuff. I've had a wild journey. Well, let's hear some. Okay. I got a drink of water because I've been streaming for 30 minutes. Okay. So, I think I'm going to tell you guys about the story of when me and my mom were fishing. So, me and my mom were fishing. I was around, I think, 7 years old, maybe 8. And we were fishing at the spot called Gator Creek. I think you guys know where this is going just by the name of the location. So we were fishing, and we had a big rod out for redfish. It was about an 8-foot rod. I think it was a Sea Striker or a Pen. I think it was a Pen, actually. And we casted it out, and we had a big chunk of mullet on it, trying to catch some redfish. We sat in the car because it was winter. It was pretty cold, and it was really cold. We got out. The pole was going, so we ran over. I didn't have a GoPro at this time, so I kind of was just filming there with my mom's phone. And we saw it, and it started taking off. And it felt like a dead weight. And I'm like, what's happening? Keep in mind, I was like 7, 8 years old. And I was like, wait a minute, what's happening? And all we saw from like 50 yards out was a gator. The gator took the tail of the mullet and was just gliding along with it. It never had the hook, I don't think. And it was going and going and going and going and going. And it took back and it started booking it towards the shore. Not very fast, but it was moving. And we were in the car and we're like, nope. I left my fishing poles and everything, jumped in the car and just stayed there. The gator got really close to shore, got pretty much on the shore. And then I went back down and was like, nah, this is not my pay grade. So I got a huge close call with that gator. I did not expect it to be that close. It was definitely a wild turn of events. I got another one too. So when I was fishing Venice Beach, we were fishing a jetty. Yeah. It was going to be, hopefully, like I said, it was not wild at all. But I was fishing Gulf Coast. And I went to the jetty, and it was typically calm. And it was so rough that night. It was like 5-6 foot waves at the Gulf of the Gulf. So, yeah, it was. I've not seen that movie, no. But, yeah, it is wild how it was so wavy. And I got knocked back so many times with the waves. I got a great picture, though. It's one of the profile pictures of me just standing in the waves. So, basically what happened is it was crashing into me. And the story is funny because, if you guys not know, I've been searching for pretty close to 4 months to catch a big snook. I've caught snook before. I've not caught a snook in 4 years. So I've been trying to catch a snook a lot the past 4 years. It's kind of, hey, what's up? Be Driven, you got a membership. Travis, Be Driven got a membership. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, thanks, Travis. Appreciate it, dude. Let's go. Thanks, Travis. But yeah, Travis, Be Driven finally got a super chat, or a membership. Everybody, hashtag Be Driven in the chat. Be Driven is awesome. Thank you so much again, Travis. I appreciate you, dude. I'm trying to think of some other stories that I have. Oh, that's a pretty good story, too. Me and my buddies from my birthday party last year were fishing, and it was the 4 of us. And keep in mind, I'm the only outdoorsy one out of the group, so that's funny. So we got on the bed of a truck, and we were driving to the lake. So keep in mind, we were at the park when we were driving, so it was like a 2-minute drive. And we got to the spot, we started fishing, nothing happened. We saw a gator in the distance, it's whatever. We caught a little crappie, it's fine. That was fun. But what happened next was kind of crazy. So we went back to the area, had cake, birthday, whatever. We booked it over to a pond on the other side, and this pond was probably the size of a house. Like, it was so small. But my buddy, Jack, if he's watching, appreciate it, dude. He's a legend. He got on one of my frogs, and he was casting my bait caster. Huge bass came up and annihilated it in this little pond. And I watched it, and it broke it off. Me and my friends were like, oh my gosh. And then keep in mind, it was raining cats and dogs at this time too. It was pouring rain. And we were all like, all of us were shirtless, running around in the rain around this lake. And we're trying to catch these fish, and it broke off 2 of our lines. it was a topwater frog and then a little swim bait, and it blew up on them. Could not catch the fish, and I still have not caught that fish to this day. I've been out to the location a couple more times, but I have not, I've not caught those fish yet, which I am begging that we can actually get those fish. I can't believe Be Driven actually got a membership. Like, Be Driven finally got a membership, dude. Oh shit! Silly Salmon got one too. I'm happy about that. Billy got it. What's Baseball Official got it. Crazy got it. Yeah, Silly Salmon's a great. He's been watching the channel for quite a long time. Same thing with Be Driven. But yeah, I'm finally happy you guys got memberships. Let's go. But yeah. Any other stories you want to hear? I'm trying to think. Like, even like non-fishing stories, which I have quite a few funny stories that I have. Like, it's outdoorsy, but it's not like fishing oriented. Yeah, story on Father's Day. Yeah, for Father's Day, I lost a 30-pound plus catfish and got a short snap off my line. Oh man, that sucks, dude. That is terrible. I've lost big fish, but a 30-pound catfish is something else. It's probably what, like a flathead or a blue. Yeah, I feel you, dude. That could have been. Whew. That hurts my heart even hearing about it, because losing big fish is one of those things that I just get so sad about. I don't think that there's. Oh, flathead too, man. That is so bad. My PB flathead is like, I think 10 pounds. I caught it literally on a crawfish and just some random lake. But yeah, dude, that sucks. Hopefully we can get one. Let's get a 60-pound flathead instead of a 30-pound one. That would be awesome if we can double it up. That is wild. I'm trying to think if I can have any fishing stories off the top of my head. I'm trying to think if there's any like funny ones that I have with my friends. Your test line was 30 pounds, and so it was 30 pounds, yeah. So it probably emitted quite a bit of pressure that was over the limit of the line. I'm trying to think. I think I'm going to go with the black drum story. So, I was fishing. Oh, no, I'm going to change the story. I want to do the redfish story instead. Yeah, I'll be fishing flatheads for Friday. Nice. Or, you'll be fishing for flatheads on Friday. Nice. I'll watch it if you live stream it. But yeah, so, here's a story. So, me and some of my buddies, this was like 2 years ago. It was the 5 of us. And we were fishing, and keep in mind, it was in 100-degree heat, pretty much. And we were going back and forth. We had 2 rods in the water. 4 rods in the water. 2 rods with mullet, 2 rods with shrimp. One of my friends cast it out really close because he does not know how to cast to save his life. And he walked away. We heard zzz. Keep in mind, this is like a 6-foot rod. It's not meant for big fish. Zzz, and it was going. And this video is still up on my channel if you guys want to watch it. But we actually hooked a monster redfish. This thing was like 35 inches. That's pretty big for summer. And it was a tiny rod. It had, I think it was 6-pound to 8-pound test on it. 0 leader, a little hook that I tied on myself, so I trusted the knot. I just did not trust the line. And it was getting scary. So it was going back and forth. And my buddy went in the water with my GoPro and went to the corner of the mangroves where the fish was heading. Huge school redfish got scared away. It was probably, I think it was like 6, 7 redfish, which is pretty big for a school in mangroves. And it was going and going and going and going and going. And it booked it. I almost got spooled, but I got it in after like 10 minutes. It was huge. It was like kind of a leopard one, which it kind of had a bunch of spots everywhere on the tail, which the spots on the back of redfish are false size. So it's kind of, if they're tailing and stuff to a bird, it kind of looks like, an eye basically. So it makes it look like, oh no, that's not a fish. I'm not going to go bite it. But yeah, that was it was a crazy day. Like, it was absolutely insane. If you guys got any fishing questions, put it in the chat down below, because it's question answering, story time, and also tackle, which I'm going to get to tackle real quick, and then put your questions in the channel and answer them why I do the tackle stuff. So we're gonna work with, let's see, I think I'm going to do this one. So like I said, while I'm doing this, you can put your questions in the chat and I will answer them as soon as I get done with this segment of it, which I was planning on doing this segment, but I'm glad I get to do it now. So this is crankbaits. So crankbaits are one of the best bass baits in the world. So basically crankbaits in the water, some of them have shake to them. So they go in the water like this. Like a little bit more like that. And you pull them and they shake in the water, and typically the coloration does matter quite a bit with, you know, different types of, ow, I just got myself in the treble hook. Yeah, crankbaits are pretty good for bass. A little bit of blood, we're good though. But yeah, so these are crankbaits. They're pretty good for bass. I've caught quite a few bass on crankbaits. I prefer for bass live bait over, you know, artificial lures, but I know that's just me. Whopper ploppers are good. Yeah, whopper ploppers are very good. I caught one of my biggest bass on one, and it was actually at Disney. It was a pretty good sized bass. I made a whole video about it. It was pretty cool. I actually have a bass fishing playlist if you want to check it out, Travis, of like good baits that I've used when I've caught bass. It was a Disney playlist too. It was a bunch of stuff. But if you want to check that out after the live stream, more than welcome to, because it has plenty of stuff on it. So this right here, like I said, is a crankbait. They're good for, this is a spot crankbait, as you can tell, because it's a spot. This one's made by Lunker Hut. Any fishing questions, put it down in the chat. I got quite a bit of stuff to go over, so fishing questions, put it in the chat. Yeah, or if you guys want me to play you a song real quick, I can. Boom. So this is a Yo-Zuri, or is it Yo-Zuri? Yeah, it's a Yo-Zuri crystal minnow. So Yo-Zuri crystal minnows are, no, this is a Meridine lure. My bad. This is a Meridine. So Meridine lure is some really cool stuff. So it's shiny inside of it. So it's kind of see-through and shiny. You guys can sound it. That's kind of cool, seeing the River Rat logo through the. Yeah, you can see the River Rat logo through the Yo-Zuri minnow. That's cool. But, you know, it's actually pretty cool. I've caught some Spanish mackerel on this specific one. I've caught some bigger fish on Yo-Zuris and crystal minnows. Yeah, they are pretty cool. They're not my favorite. I prefer soft plastics, honestly. I'm a soft plastic connoisseur, so, you know, I pretty much use soft plastics all day, every day. I'm going to grab this right here, which, like I said, Travis and Be Driven, if Be Driven you're still watching, we sent out your stickers, and I wrote a nice little thank you note in there, and then I also put my signature in there too, which, if you guys are starting to collect signatures and stickers, it's awesome, because I tried 2 different signatures between Travis and Be Driven. One of them, I think I prefer the one that I did for Be Driven, just because that one is really cool. It was a sharp turn, and then it went like this, and then it was really cool. I try to keep it simple because I'm dyslexic and I'm gonna overdo it, but I think it was really cool. It was a signature for both of them. Pretty cool in my opinion. So yeah, stay tuned for giveaways, guys. Travis and Be Driven were awesome. They donated, and they're just awesome people. So they got those stickers for free just because I want to make sure that I support my community, because you guys are awesome and so generous. Especially you, Travis. I think it's funny that you're trying to get Be Driven a membership, and we got Be Driven a membership today, so hip hip hooray. So, when do I do giveaways? So I typically do 1 giveaway a month. Besides, people that are like you, Travis, when you're super generous, I typically send them stickers too. Typically, like around between the 10th and the 20th of every month, I do a giveaway, a sticker, pretty much every week or every month. We just started it because I just started my own merch and stuff, because as you can see, this is River Rat Life merch. This is my own merch. It's $15 for a hat and $3.50 for a sticker. Travis, you got the sticker for free because you're awesome. But yeah, that's kind of why we do the giveaways too, just so we can give and the product out too, because I can always give it to my friends. It's kind of a little bit different when I get to give it to somebody and send it through the mail, and like the whole process, which I prefer it like that too. So that's kind of important to me too, because I want to make sure that I'm also giving quality stuff. Do I have shirts? No, I do not have shirts yet. I have like myself. I have prototype shirts, which I like them. We're working on some more right now, actually, for my prototypes. I'm working on a collared shirt. If you guys want to see something really funny, I went to prom, and my shirt, or my entire suit, which is an Italian leather suit, has the River At Life logo on it. So this is, I put the River At logo life on my tux. So you can kind of do whatever you want with the stickers. It works. So I feel like you can probably put it on for less than paying a shirt. So let's say we have the print-ons that you can iron on for like $5. It's probably cheaper than buying a shirt itself. Because, of course, right now, it's a prototype. The stickers are pretty much going to stay in the same price forever. But the hats and stuff are going to go up in price right now. Or going to go up in price eventually because we're not really, like... I'm trying to think. We're not really going to stick with the prototypes because we want to make sure we're getting everything out good and quality. Of course, your hat won't look exactly like mine because mine is more fine-tuned. Mine's also a patch hat. But yeah. So, make sure. That's so out of tune. But yeah, so we're going to work with this. So, this is a rattle bait. So, let me know when you get shirts. I'll buy shirts for Watch Fishing. Nice, dude. I'm trying to think if we could make a shirt. If you want, Travis, you can DM me on Instagram or DM me on Facebook because I know you got Facebook. And I can try to make something happen because I can make shirts because I still have the stickers. I can have like a little logo if you want like a collared shirt or something. Then I could put it on there like a dry fit. It just depends. So I can try to work something out. If you want one, just DM me on Facebook and I'll see if I can get that happen. Same thing with anybody that wants shirts or like that type of stuff. Hats or stuff are a little bit easier. Yeah, that'd be cool. So yeah, if you want to, just DM me on Facebook and it'd probably be like $10-15, same as a hat pretty much. So right there, like I said, is a little rattle bait. So I call them rattle baits because they rattle. There's like a specific name for them. They're kind of like they're a crankbait, but they're not a lipless crankbait, which this right here is a lipless crankbait. This is the gold version of the rattle. I'm not going to pick that one up because that one's going to spine me. So basically this is a lipless crank right here. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to get into these right here, which these are soft plastic worms. So soft plastic worms are pretty cool if I don't say so myself. So, right here, we have a little thing. This is for bass. I've caught quite a few bass on this. So, you have a little bit of jig head there, and you thread it through. And then, boom. Nah, it's fine, Travis. I'm trying to get the product out there. That's kind of the whole point of doing, like, giveaways and, like, being super generous with it is because I want to get the product out there, and I already have the stickers and stuff available for this print shirt. If you want to, I can just send you the sticker too. Like it's like I think it's $5 for the printable sticker that you can iron onto a shirt, and then you can just iron it on through there. So you can just get the shirt on your end because I already have them and already sell the stickers that you can put on. Like I said, literally where is it? My prom tuxedo literally had the whole River At logo on there. So it works on pretty much any material. So, yeah. It'd be pretty cool. So, you also, too, if you guys don't know how to thread stuff through jig heads, right here. So, you want to go through here. Right here. And right there. So, you want to thread it right there. Push it through, make sure that it's not cramped or anything. As you guys can see, it is pretty much perfect. A little bit cramped on the side, but it's not definitely. Yeah, you definitely want a shirt. Yeah. So if you want, just DM me on Facebook. I'll answer after the live stream, just because, yeah, it's awesome. Anybody else watching too, if you guys want a shirt or a hat, DM me on Facebook or Instagram, whatever one you guys have. We can work out, because we're trying to get the website up and running, because we want to make sure that we get the product out, because you guys got to admit, that is a sick logo, and I can do a lot with River At Life. So the brand that we have is called the River At Lifestyle brand. So that's kind of like, the River At Lifestyle is the type of merch and stuff. It's going to have River At Life on it, but like the whole thing is River At Lifestyle. Because it's so brandable, and it's so good, and it's just an awesome thing. Because my family calls me River Rat, because I was always by the river when I was younger. That's kind of where the origin story of the name came from, is River Rat. Just kind of, you know, going from river to river, fishing. That's, my grandpa actually gave me that name, because his great-grandpa used to call him that too, because he used to live on Long Island, on a river in Long Island. So he said he used to be a river rat when he used to go on like a little boat and catch bluefish and stuff. It's kind of, but yeah, that's a jig head. Yeah, it's a nice little family thing. All my family fishes pretty much, so, you know. So this is a pretty good bass bait for anybody that wants to catch bass. Like I said, my tackle box is kind of a, there it is. My tackle box is kind of a variety of everything. So freshwater, saltwater, brackish, you name it, is probably in my tackle box. But this is a spinnerbait. So spinnerbaits, on top of them, you can go in the water, and they go in the water similar to this. So this spins in the water, same thing with this. Typically you have a trailer on there, so the trailer, where is it? I'm just gonna put this trailer on it. So put a trailer on, so this is a little like plastic trailer. So we're gonna put this, thread it through here.
See, he's right there. Come on.
My dog is
Sad because he can't see you.
my dog is freaking out.
Come here. Look, it's Bubba.
My grandfather is proud of me right now. Chip, come here. Thank you. Okay. My dog must. Come here, Chip. What'd you do?
Me?
Chip, what'd you do? My service dog is freaking out because I closed the door on him, and he's not allowed in for live streams, because he will jump on my lap in the middle of a live stream, because he is petty. Come here. Okay. There he is. There he is, buddy. So this is Chip, and he is large. He's about 75-pound golden doodle. He's my service dog. He's a little bit of a control freak. He does not like when he cannot see me. So when I'm doing this type of stuff, he does not get happy because no one is going to play with him. Yeah, W Chip. Chip has his own YouTube channel, which actually, his most popular video is more popular than my most popular video, which is sad. Chip has over 1,000 subscribers in 5 months. That is sad. But me, no. Yeah, he's literally just holding on to me. You literally will not let go. It's okay. It's okay, buddy. I promise. I promise it's okay. I promise. But yeah. Yeah, Chip has his own YouTube channel. If you did not know, I actually run 3 or 4 different YouTube channels. I run this one, River At Life, which is my main. I run a music channel, which we're starting that one up. It's pretty cool. I own a card channel, sports cards, baseball cards, a bunch of different ones, baseball, Pokemon. This is actually my studio, so Pokemon cards I do here as well. We have a channel about Chip, and then we're starting a comedy channel, like a comedy skit channel, which I want to do. Because I'm, if you guys did not know, I am an actor, so I act in a lot of different stuff. So I've acted so far in Little Mermaid, Frozen, a bunch of different stuff. How old am I? I am 14. I just turned 14. Yep, I can play instruments galore. I can start YouTube channels. It's actually pretty cool starting a YouTube channel. I have almost three YouTube channels with 1,000 or over 1,000 subscribers. Right now I have 2. Chip's channel right here, and then River At Life. And my channel, River At Life, is monetized on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook too, which is pretty cool. It's a big achievement for me. I just hit it the other day, surprisingly. Yeah, that's awesome. I do love doing this type of stuff. Chip will not leave me alone. I try to push him off, but he's like, nope. But yeah, it is awesome doing YouTube. If you told me when I started the channel pretty much 5 years ago at this point that I would be doing what I'm doing, now, I would never have believed he was awesome. My dog is very sweet. He's a big boy, but he's a gentle giant, basically. He's just like me, a gentle giant. His dad is huge. His dad's like, well, I think his dad's close to 90 pounds and like 4 foot tall. Or not 4 foot tall, like 3 foot tall. Like a yardstick. Yeah, he's a big baby. Yeah, let's see if he'll let me put fishing rods over him. So, if you guys don't know, okay. Don't eat the hooks, please, and thank you. Don't eat the hooks. Chip, don't eat the hooks, buddy. Thank you. So these are poppers. So these right here, pop in the water. So these are great bass bait. Chip is just eagerly watching it. So these are good bass bait right here. So you go. So bass like to hit the bottom. I typically like to fish with ones with trailers on them, so you can. Bye, Chip. Nice to see you. But it kind of pops like this. So it's actually pretty cool seeing them. Yeah, the dog is watching that. He's eager. Yeah, if you guys want to see Chip real quick, this is him in his full glory. Chip is pretty big. His crate is 54 inches, and Chip pretty much is bigger than that. That's a huge drum, so Chip's bigger than the drum by quite a bit, too. So, a little bit of size comparison. These are size 13 shoes, and Chip looks huge compared to them. So, if you know that size comparison, yeah. He is quite the big dog. For a golden doodle at any standards, he's a big boy. I love the thing that the admins put up. Does losing your favorite lure hurt your soul? It does hurt my soul. I know that. It hurts me inside. So, yeah, we're going to get to a little bit more now. Let's see what time it is. It's 6:30. Okay. That's nice. So this right here is probably one of my favorite things that I have in this tackle box, which, where is it? There it is. This is a baby spoon. So it's a baby spoon / spinner. So these things are great for trout and panfish. I've caught plenty of panfish on them. I've caught a couple trout on them too. These are for rainbow trout. So you may catch speckled trout on them, which we have speckled trout and sand trout in my area. But this is when I fish Tennessee. Typically is what I use. Last time I was in Tennessee, I did not catch a single fish. There's a story right there. So I went to fish in Tennessee for a week. I did not catch a single fish the entire week I was up there. And I fished from dawn to dusk sometimes. And it was miserable not catching anything. And to make it even more patronizing, we went to the I think it was the Nashville Aquarium or something. Nashville or Coe Aquarium or something like that. And we saw rainbow trout everywhere. So, and we saw people catch rainbow trout and say they caught rainbow trout around me. So, yeah. To say that I was sad is an understatement. Like an extreme understatement. And the worst, do you know what the worst part was? I had a 14-hour drive. Yeah. It was terrible. But it was fun because we got to spend time with family, which matters more than fishing, luckily. But we came back, and 12-hour drive straight from pretty much Nashville, Tennessee area, straight down to Cocoa Beach, Florida, and I had to jump out of the car and jump straight into Tech Week rehearsals. So I had to jump straight out of the car for 14 hours and immediately go into acting, which my character was supposed to be pretty angry, and I I was not the happiest of fellers, that's for sure. Yeah. But what is up, everybody? Join the chat. What's up? Like and subscribe. But we are leaving. I gotta go eat. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. See you guys next episode of River Rat Life. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check out all the videos YouTube suggests for you. Bye bye.